What is up, guys? Jay Blanks here from Blanks Gaming, and I'm excited to bring to you guys 10mm, which is 10-minute MMO, and that's where I find an MMO, I play it for a couple of hours or a couple of days, and then I pretty much just share my experiences with you guys through a 10-minute video. And the reason I'm doing this is because I genuinely love playing MMOs. I love the learning process that comes with the early stages of the game, and also the ability to create and customize your own unique character, and of course the ability to explore an open world. And having said all that, let's begin the episode. So the first game we decided to play was DC Universe Online, which was a game I've always heard of but never got to try out. This allows you to customize your own unique superhero, choosing their powers and their outfits. You can choose from controlling fire, ice, nature. So of course, I had to go with the gadgets and the dual pistols, which is probably the least superhero you can get. But something told me to choose it, so I just decided to go with it. And then this is your inventory, and this pretty much holds your gear. As you can see, each armor piece has about 8 different stats, which affect your damage output, the damage taken, healing, shields, all that good stuff, and you can find out through your stat tab. But this is the journal tab, which is where you'll find your list of quests that allow you to progress and level up through the game. And this is your most important, your traits tab. I chose gadgets as my power. This is unique to whatever power you chose. It's mostly explosions and force fields, that sort of stuff for my power. And then this is your loadout to choose what abilities you want to use during combat. And your weapon tree. This unlocks your different weapon combos using square and triangle. And lastly, the feat tab. This gives you tasks to complete, which award you with feat points, and every 100 points equals an ability point. Alright, let's fast forward to the game. So this is one of our very first quests. Actually, not our first quest, but our first boss fight. And as you can see, we are going up against Scarecrow. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I had no idea what I was doing against this boss. Like, I didn't really know the combat mechanics that well. And also, I did learn that this is a team-oriented game. So you want to have a team, and each of you would play a different role. And those roles are pretty much a tank, healer, damage, and a controller. And this is all determined based on what superpower you chose. So I chose gadgets, so technically I'm a controller. So my role would be to debuff the enemy and protect my allies. I didn't know that when I was choosing powers, so this is pretty much what we have to work with. But it's really not too bad. Luckily I have this force field here. And this is the first boss, so it wasn't too difficult. I was able to do it solo. I'm sure once you get farther you probably need a team. But there it is. We defeated Scarecrow. And we achieved a feat, and this is what I talked about earlier. We got 10 points for that. Every 100 is an ability point. Alright, we are on our second quest line. So I noticed for quests, it's a similar format for most of them. It's either wiping out mobs or destroying an object such as a canister or a crate, and then you do a couple of those mini quests, and eventually it leads up to a final boss. And as you can see here, definitely getting used to the combat system. We do have a lot more moves that we can use in our disposal because we did level up a couple of times and got a couple of ability points. And as you can see here, this is one of the missions I was talking about. I have to destroy 15 canisters, and then I was awarded with a mark as well as an item, which we are probably going to equip because it does boost our stats up a little bit. Ooh, we are against Bane right now, so this is kind of scary, but we do know our abilities a lot better. As you can see, we are keeping our distance because you don't want to get close to Bane. Of course, unless you have a force field like me. I honestly have no idea what I would do without this force field because it does soak up a lot of the damage. Because I don't have a healer, I lose health really fast, and there's no way for me to regenerate at this moment. So the force field really comes in clutch in these types of situations. especially against Bane. See, I would have taken so much damage right there. But luckily, the force field was there. And we can launch our tear gas, or actually I think it's fear gas, same thing as Scarecrow, into him, which I assume weakens him, and then we can maximize the amount of damage. And it seems to be working because we did defeat Bane, and something I didn't realize was that you press up on your D-pad to choose the loot. And we also got a feat, so choosing that loot really motivates you to complete the quest and progress farther, because that feeling of getting a rare item is probably the best feeling in an MMO, which is one of the great things I love about MMOs. Okay, so our next quest is find Giganta, but first, as you can see, that green exclamation point is an investigation. Something called investigations, briefings, and collections. They're spread out throughout the city, and if you complete the set, you get a rare item, I believe. Unfortunately, I did not complete a set because this is such a huge area to explore, so it's hard to find the set without probably playing for a longer amount of time. But we are getting used to the combat mechanics, and we have a lot of moves now, like I said before. So we are able to wipe out these 18 beast morphs for our mini mission, and then finally we are up against Giganta. And it's funny because I actually didn't read the objectives while I was fighting her at first, so I'm just trying to deal as much damage as possible, not realizing that you can't damage her until you complete that objective, which is to destroy these little crystals floating around. So we decided to finally destroy all of them, and as you can see, they switch bodies, and I'm finally able to actually deal some damage. But it's not too bad. Again, I think this is our third boss. Pop the shield, launch the fear gas, and we just start taking out her health. So hopefully we could defeat her quickly. Ooh. I should probably block more too. That is a very important part of the game, but it's hard to block when you're solo because you can't attack at the same time. And I really just want to deal as much damage as possible just so we can defeat this boss. And there it is, the 50 hit combo. So she's almost done. It wasn't too bad. There it is. So we beat Giganta. That is our third boss, and let's see what loot we get. Okay, so we're probably going to go with the shoulder guard because it does boost our stats a little more than the other item. And of course, feat achieved. We got 10 points. 100 gets us an ability point. And headline completed. Let's complete the quest. There it is, level 14. And we got an ability point. So we're going to put it on our weapon tree, and that unlocks another move. As you can see, the combinations aren't that hard to memorize. It's kind of a combination of square and triangle. But once you have all of that, wiping out mobs becomes so much more fun because you have so many moves to choose from. Honestly, what made this game so great was the ability to explore the open world. You can explore literally every inch of the city, climb to the top of any building, and just see how big it really is. And what's crazy is that this is just Metropolis. Like, you could still go to Gotham and explore, and also, as I'm gliding through the city, taking in the scenery. What's cool about this game is that you could actually run into real players as well, and you could see them taking out mobs, doing quests, and you can join up with them and also share in the experience. It is such a good game, and as you can see here, like, there's no words. Like, you can go anywhere. It's kind of like a GTA kind of aspect, but instead you're a superhero, which makes it even cooler. But before we end the video, I just want to go over some of the end game content. Now, the end game starts at level 30. That's the max level, because that's where you start increasing your combat rating, which is based on the level of your gear. And in order to get higher tiered gear, you have to do quests, missions, boss fights, and you can find all of that in your on duty tab. These reward you with those marks in order to buy the higher tiered gears. Of course, what comes with most MMOs, the ability to pay to play and buy certain things with real money. but there is a lot accessible to free to play. You can get up to tier 4 armors, and I believe there's about 8 tiers, but getting up to tier 4 is still so much fun and a lot of content to play with without having to spend a dime. As you can see, these armors are so much better than the ones I'm wearing now. Then again, I'm only level 15, but there's so much available in this game. And that pretty much wraps up the episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, feel free to drop a like and subscribe so you know what game I play next. And that pretty much wraps everything up. I'll see you guys next time.